Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The topic of today is the second lecture of Biochemistry, Water as a Solvent of Life, and we will cover the following three topics: importance of water, properties of water, and interactions of various substances in water system or in aqueous solution. So the first one is importance of water. So little discussion about importance of water. On global level, we know that about 1.36 billion cubic kilometer, which makes 70% of the earth part. Out of this 70%, 97% water is present in sea, 2% water is present in Arctic and Antarctic oceans, while 1% of the water are fresh water, which out of which 0.22% is underground, while 0.7% water is present in rivers, lakes, ponds, etc. If we take the example of our country Pakistan, then according to the IMF, Pakistan is the third country in the world having a shortage of water crisis. And it is considered that 20% of Pakistani population have no access into pure water, while 80% of the population use the polluted water, and due to that we are experiencing a lot of severe diseases. So in Pakistan in 1950, per capita of water was 5,000 meter cube per year, which decreased to 1,000 meter cube per area, and this decrease is at the rate of 1 meter cube per year. So the underground table of water fall at the rate of 1 meter cube per year. So this is the situation in Pakistan, and about 60 million people in Pakistan, they are using arsenic contaminated water. And arsenic is very dangerous because it can create a large number of diseases like cancers and many others. Daily usage of water. How many water we are using daily? So about 15 liter of water we are using for drinking and cooking purpose. Similarly, 35 to 40 liter of water we are using for toilet purpose, while 65 liter of water we are using for bathing, washing, etc. Now, discussion about the water in the human body. So 70% of the human body weight is consist of water. And if we compare the genders, male and female, on the basis as well as on the basis of ages, then it can be seen that obese adult male body composed of 45 to 60% water, lean male consists of 55 to 70% water, while if we consider a female, then it is about 65 to 75%, sorry, it is about 45 to 60%, and in infants it is about 65 to 75%. Similarly, the distribution of water in human body of water in human body. So we can categorize it as intracellular. So intracellularly we have 70% of water, and which make about 30 liters of water. And out of these 30 liters, 4 liters of water present in bones, and these 4 liters of water, they are not exchangeable fluid. Similarly, the extracellular water is about 30%, which make 12 liters. So water has a important role in our life, and if we lose 10% of water, it will create severe problems, and if we lose 20%, it will become fatal. It can cause death. Now, the role of water in the body physiology. Role of water in the body physiology. So different organs have different role. And what is the role of water? For example, in the case of brain, this is one of the important organ in our body, and the brain normal function and healthy status depend upon the supply of oxygenated blood. So if we have more oxygenated blood supply into the brain, then the brain will work normal and healthy, and this oxygenated blood supply depend upon sufficient amount of water. Sufficient amount of water. So if we are taking more water, then the oxygenated blood will more supply into the brain, and our brain will work normal and healthy. The second one is the digestive system, or we can say the cells. So we already discussed that cells intracellularly we have 70% of water, and there is a transportation of materials, electrolytes and many other organic molecules intracellularly, extracellularly through cells. So cells also require a large number of water in order to work properly. Digestive system. So our digestive system basically digests food, and that digestion of food lead into the absorption of food into the bloodstream. So sufficient amount of water make the digestion of food and absorption of food easier, while the insufficient amount of water can cause many kind of problem like constipation, and constipation is a root cause of many diseases. The fourth one is heart, which is the central part of our body, and the role of the heart is to transport oxygenated blood into various parts of the organs, of the body organs. And the heart function is also to maintain the normal blood pressure. So in the presence of water, heart can maintain the normal blood pressure, while in the absence of water, insufficient amount of water, there will be problem in the heart. And there was a study done in the University of Loma Linda University of California. So this study was done on 20,000 adult male and female, and it was concluded that a person who daily intake of water is 5 or more glasses, then there is a little chance of heart attack. But those which daily intake is less than 5 glasses have more chance of heart attack. Another important organ, that is kidneys, and the role of the kidneys to remove waste from the body and as well as to maintain the electrolyte level. So if we use more water, sufficient amount of water, then the kidney will be able to remove waste from our body and to maintain the electrolyte level in our body. But in the absence of water, insufficient intake of water, the kidney will be unable to remove waste from our body, as well as it will be unable to maintain the electrolyte level, and that is why many problems can be created. Similarly, muscles and joints. So muscles and joints also have a vital role in our body. We can walk, we can move, and we can perform different functions with the help of muscles and joints. And muscles and joints composed of about 70 to 75% water. So muscles and joints composed of 70 to 75% water. And in this situation, water acts as a lubricant. So water is a lubricant for muscles and joints. So more intake of water can make the muscle and joint to work properly. But in the absence of water, sufficient amount of water, the muscle and joint have a lot of pains and problems. Similarly, skin, which act as a pathogenic barrier, and that pathogenic barrier protect us from different infection, diseases, and sufficient amount of water can make the skin elastic, soft, and look good looking. So the skin have a basic function to defend the body from pathogenic attacks. Similarly, the water can also maintain the body temperature, and that is why it is a thermal regulator. So water is a thermal regulator, and it can maintain the body temperature at 37 degrees centigrade or 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. Properties of water. So water has a large number of important properties. So before going to the properties, we can discuss the structure of water. So water has bent-like structure having oxygen with 2 lone pairs, and due to this the presence of oxygen, more electronegative atom, water can form extensive hydrogen bonding. Extensive hydrogen bonding. As you know that hydrogen bonding is always takes place when there is a bond between more electronegative atom of one molecule with the hydrogen of another molecule. And water has a perfect example of hydrogen bonding. Water is a perfect example of hydrogen bonding. And that is why water show unique behavior as compared to other liquids. And that is why water is also present in three different states. Like water can be present in liquid state, in solid state in the form of ice, and in the gaseous state in the form of vapors or steam. Similarly, water has a unique property to expand on cooling, which is totally different from other liquids which expand on heating. And this is a general phenomena that substances are expand on heating. But water has a unique property which expand on cooling. And this phenomena can be explained in such a way that this is the boiling point of water and this is the freezing point of water. Now from this, in this range, the water shows similar behavior with other liquids. For example, water contract on cooling, while beyond this temperature, the 4 degrees centigrade temperature, water expand on cooling. So why water expand on cooling below 4 degrees centigrade? Because of the increase in the strength of the hydrogen bonding. So hydrogen bond become more stronger as we go below the 4 degrees centigrade. And at 4 degrees centigrade, we have maximum density and minimum volume. So water attain maximum density at 4 degrees centigrade and minimum volume at 4 degrees centigrade. But as we go from below 4 degrees centigrade, then there is expansion, and at 0 degrees centigrade, water attain maximum volume and minimum density. And that is why we can say ice float on the surface of water. So this ice floating on the surface of water is due to the less density of ice as compared to water. And this unique behavior of water make easier for different kind of animals to survive under the sheet of ice in Antarctic and Arctic oceans. Another important property of water is high surface tension. So surface tension can be experienced in stretching membrane, and water has a high surface tension of 72.8 dynes per centimeter. And this high surface tension of water is due to the hydrogen bonding. And that hydrogen bonding in the form of cohesive forces, they can create a new space for life. Because we know that many kind of animals, for example, animal like ants, they can walk on the surface of water. And this path and way of walking for ants produced by the high surface tension of water. Similarly, another important forces, that is the adhesive forces, in which rising of water takes place from underground to a very height like 100 of feet of height of trees, through an important and specialized tubes that is called xylem. So this is due to the capillary action, and the capillary action is due to the high surface tension of water, which enable water to transport it from underground to 100 feet of height in plants and trees. Similarly, water has high heat capacity. Heat capacity. And you know that heat capacity means the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a body by 1 degree centigrade or 1 degree Kelvin. So if we take the body amount as 1 gram, then it is called specific heat. And if we take the amount as 1 mole, then it is called molar specific heat. So water has a specific heat of 1 calorie per gram if we rise the temperature by 1 degree centigrade. That is equal to 4.18 joule per gram in units of joule. For ethanol, we have 0.59 calorie per gram for each 1 degree rise in temperature, which is equal to 2.46 joule per gram for each 1 degree rise in temperature. So this high heat capacity of water make water as a temperature buffer. So it maintains the temperature of earth with the help of the more heat capacity of water. Similarly, high heat of vaporization. Heat of vaporization means the amount of heat required to convert 1 mole of liquid water into its vapor at its boiling point. That is called the heat of vaporization. And water has very high heat of vaporization, that is 40.7 kilojoule per mole, while the ethanol has 38.6 kilojoule per mole. So this high heat of vaporization make the water to maintain the earth temperature constant. If water has less heat of vaporization, then what will happen? Then there will be more evaporation, and there will be more condensation of vapors, and more rains and more floods, and there will be scarcity of water, and there will be increase in the temperature of the earth, and everything will be destroyed. So this is due to our God Allah, who make this water so strong due to hydrogen bonding that it can absorb, it can maintain, accommodate a large amount of heat in their body. Okay, the third topic, which is the interactions of various substances in water. Various kind of interactions in aqueous system. Aqueous system means the system which is made with the help of water as a solvent. So there are various kind of interactions. For example, we already discussed this hydrogen bonding between water molecules. This is one kind of interactions. Hydrogen bonding between water and other solutes. For example, if we take the example of biological systems, biological compounds, so we can explain it. For example, in case of proteins, the polypeptides bonded with another polypeptides through hydrogen bonding. Similarly, an important compound, nuclear material, that is the DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, in which the nucleotide bases are connected with each other through hydrogen bonding. So some of the nucleotide make double hydrogen bonding, and some of the nucleotide makes triple hydrogen bonding. So we will discuss this in the coming lectures. Similarly, interaction between water and charged molecules, or we can say electrolytes, between water and charged substances, and their charged substances which behave like electrolyte, for example sodium chloride. So sodium chloride can be dissolved in water in such a way that the water dipole surround the sodium ion through ion dipole forces. So this is the positive charge. Sorry. So this is like this. So this can be surrounded through ion dipole force. So this kind of force is called ion dipole force. Ion dipole force, because the sodium ion or chloride ion act as an ion and water act as a dipole. Similarly, chloride can be surrounded in such a form. So these are another kind of interactions. Similarly, there are different kind of gases. Some of them are polar and some of them are non-polar. So some important gases which can be interactions of water with gases. And there are some important gases, for example oxygen, and that oxygen can only be solubilized with the help of hemoglobin. And you know that the heme part of the hemoglobin is responsible for these interactions. Similarly, the carbon dioxide gas can be dissolved in water to produce carbonic acid, which is an important buffer system in our body. And other gases like ammonia, H2S, they can also be dissolved in water. The last one is the interactions between water and amphiphilic substances. So what are amphiphilic substances? Amphiphilic substances are those substances which composed of two kind of parts of the molecule. The one is called lyophilic, and the other one is called lyophobic. And generally it is called, especially for water it is called hydrophilic, and this one hydrophobic. So hydrophobic means, lyophobic means water repellent, which can repel by any solvent, and lyophilic means solvent attractive. Hydrophilic means water attractive, and hydrophobic means water repulsive. So this kind of substances, they have a very important role, and they can make micelles. For example, STS, sodium dodecyl sulfate. So the formula of this C12H25SO4Na. So when we dissolve this sodium dodecyl sulfate in water, it gives us uncertain concentration, that is called critical micelle concentration. So it can give us such kind of substances that is called micelle. And the micelle consists of two parts. One is called the core of the micelle, and that core of the micelle is hydrophobic. So this is the hydrophobic part, while the remaining one is hydrophilic. So this is the shell, which is the hydrophilic. So the micelles have a large number of contributions and applications. For example, the phenomena of micellization can be used in fats absorption. So as you know that fats are insoluble in water, so they always make micelles, and through micellization process they can absorb into the bloodstream. Another important phenomena, which you are already aware of it, is the cleaning action of soap. Cleaning action of soap, detergent, surfactants, and many other things. As you know that our clothes and other things, they have dirty material in the form of fats, oils, grease, paints, and these dirty materials are always hydrophobic. So when we dissolve soap, surfactant, or detergent in water, they make micelles. And the core of the micelle dissolve the dirt in our clothes and can be removed through water from our clothes. So that is the cleaning action of soap. Another important application in advance, that the drug delivery, a drug can be delivered into a target site with the help of micellization and micelles. Because most of the anti-cancer drugs, they are hydrophobic and they cannot be dissolved in water. So we always use micelles, the micelle hydrophobic core, to dissolve drug into the core and then make possible to reach the drug into the target site. So this is another application of the micellization. So this is all about of today's lecture, and in the next lecture we will discuss about the autoionization of water, pH, and the buffer system.